Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. Thanks so much, everyone, and welcome back. Always great to connect with you. So how to self-validate and experience tremendous joy. That is our topic today. You know, we are all interdependent. And we need each other for a variety of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, if you crave, require, and need others for your validation, you set yourself up. You set yourself up for disappointment in life. I have learned this lesson, and I learned it fairly early, but boy, I wish I would have learned it even sooner. So I really want to just impart a very special message for you today. And speaking of learning lessons, I want to give a reminder. I've received some really interesting notes, some lovely notes, and I appreciate that. I want to share why I do this work. I have seen time and time again of what can happen to folks who live life out of balance without giving thought to their process of life. And make no mistake, if you watch my videos, you know my opinion. Life is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning to be here on this planet, but it can also be brutal when certain lessons are not respected and mastered. So that's what this work is about. I want you empowered. I want you fully empowered, up to speed, living the absolute best life you can in the highest vibration possible. So back to validation. So some years ago, I had a young lady in my office, and as I think about validation, I always go back to that day. And she had just graduated from college. She did not land the job that she wanted, and that was not her sadness. Her sadness by the time she came to my office was the fact that her parents were just so rough on her, so hard on her, because she did land that job. She wasn't living the life that they wanted her to lead. And she said to me, you know, Sheila, I wish for once in my life, I wish that they would be happy for me. And I asked her, well, what would that do for you? And she said, well, then I could be happy. It was a painful moment. It was a painful moment, particularly sitting across from such a young woman. And I always have a special place in my heart for youth, especially as I get older. I see youth as, you can imagine, a gorgeous stallion in an open field, nothing to stop you, everything in front of you, all that beautiful territory to just ride free. And for your joy to be tied to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a dozen people who won't give it to you is just heartbreaking. It really is. And I feel that it's dangerous to crave validation from people who won't give it, but it's equally dangerous to anticipate it from those who give it freely. And that was my story. And I want to share a little snapshot with you. I was 29 years old, and I had just landed my first really big speaking engagement. And man, you know, most people in life would say, I have a person. You know, this is my person. And I had a go-to person who I had gone to most of my life in the high moments. And we would celebrate, we would laugh. And, oh man, that is awesome. And I found myself after this event, should have been one of the happiest times in my life. And I picked up the phone, and I literally forgot that this person, they're not even on the planet anymore. They passed away unexpectedly. And there I sat, a grown woman, and it dawned on me, oh my goodness, with as much as you've learned how to do, you forgot to learn how to be happy for yourself. It's like I needed that validation. I needed that stamp of approval before I could really even take in the essence of the experience. And I started to pray. As I've done most of my life. I'm like, Father, I do not want to be dependent like this. I want to have my experiences, my highs and lows, and feel them and own them. Help me, because I really don't even know where to start. And within about 48 hours, and you understand what I'm saying, if you pray, these answers do come. I heard a question in my mind, and I think it's a question that some of you have heard too. Sheila, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it fall? If a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it fall? Did it fall? And it kept repeating. And my answer was most certainly yes. Most certainly yes. And whether you fall in the forest by yourself, whether you win a football tournament, whether you do a splendid job at a recital, it is so important that you are able to deeply feel that experience and validate it for yourself. I love the social media posts, fantastic sharing, and I do share. But my highs and my lows, I've learned to validate them for myself. I'm in front of people constantly, in front of audiences. I love the applause. It's splendid, divine, certainly does feed my ego. But whether I get the applause or not, whether it comes or not, I've learned. And we all must learn to validate those experiences from the inside out. This is the how-to channel. And I want to share with you a way, if you don't have a self-validation process, if you're not inside this energy, I want to share a little technique with you on how you can really start. It's very simple. And I'll share another little story with you. I got tired of waiting around for my dream guy to start my travels some years ago. And so I said, I'm going to take a trip myself. And here I am sitting out in front of this ocean, this beautiful beach, the kind of moment that you just want to shout it to the world. Oh my God, can you believe this really exists here on the planet? But I didn't have anyone to shout it to. So self-validate. Take the moment inside of you, and what do you do? Okay, the how-to channel. You put your hand over your heart and you close your eyes and you ask two questions. Question number one, what did I just experience? I experienced the most breathtaking sunrise of my entire life. Question number two, what did it mean to you? What did this moment mean? Oh my God. I'm here, I'm alive to experience it. That's what I'm so grateful for. And you open your eyes and you recap. You recap the moment. You can say it with inside of yourself, but I really wish you would say it out loud, because there's a divine vibration that goes along with just hearing the words, the sound of your own voice. And I can hear someone saying, well, Sheila, this is no fun to have these experiences and pull them into your heart alone. And I have to tell you, most of my work that I've done for the last over 20 years is I validate people, their highs, their lows, walk them through that. And as much as, it's important that we lift others up and validate others, I'm going to go back to this again and again. It's so important to learn to do it yourself. And if you really sit with this practice, it will feel better. It will feel better than that external applause from friends or family, because it's pure, it is authentic when you feel it in your soul. Recently had a lovely high moment. A friend of mine called and said, oh my God, this is awesome. We have to go to lunch and celebrate this. And I said, thank you so much for that. And I did appreciate that from the heart. But I said, do you mind if we just hold off 1 week? I already had the spa appointment booked, okay, for that internal celebration. All right, I'm notorious for going into the Cheesecake Factory by myself to order that slice of chocolate cake. Ma'am, are you celebrating something today? Damn, yeah. Damn, Skippy, yes, I am. You can do this in any manner of ways. You really can. And it's so important because when you self-validate, you claim that joy, you own it, it is yours, and you are no longer a lady in waiting. You are no longer a gentleman in waiting. So this work has ultimately been interesting, fascinating to me. I'll tell you why I'm so adamant that everyone learns this work of self-validation, because I have had mothers in my office, brothers, siblings, friends, co-workers, you name it, and they've said to me, you know what, and I know they did a good job, I know they're awesome, I withheld that validation, or I did X, Y, Z. Hundreds of reasons why people will do that. They don't matter. What matters is that you master the ability to do that for yourself. To heck with everything else. You have to own it. You have to know it for yourself. I thank you so much. I hope this video has made a difference for you, and I'll see you next time.